What made your toughest officer show genuine emotion? Colonel Sarah Mitchell was a machine. 23 years in the Army, 3 combat deployments, first female battalion commander in our brigade. Never saw her smile, never heard her raise her voice above command level, never witnessed anything resembling human emotion. She ran morning PT like a drill sergeant, ate MREs with the same expression as fine dining, and delivered casualty notifications with professional detachment. The troops called her the Iron Lady behind her back. She seemed proud of the nickname. During our deployment to Afghanistan, she maintained that same robotic demeanor through everything. IED attacks, mortar rounds, firefights that lasted hours. Colonel Mitchell would stand in the command center, calling in air support with the same tone she used to order coffee. We'd been in country 8 months when our interpreter brought disturbing news. Local school had been bombed by Taliban. 15 children killed, dozens wounded. The attack happened because they'd been teaching girls alongside boys. Mission brief was routine. Provide security while medical teams treated survivors. Standard humanitarian operation. Colonel Mitchell assigned herself as ground commander, which was unusual. She typically ran operations from the TOC. The scene was horrific. Rubble everywhere. Children's backpacks scattered in the dirt. Blood on the classroom walls. Medical teams were triaging casualties in what remained of the playground. Colonel Mitchell walked through the devastation with her usual calm efficiency. Coordinating security, managing logistics, directing traffic flow, complete professional composure. Then we heard crying from under a collapsed section of roof. Rescue teams started digging frantically. Found a little girl, maybe 6 years old, trapped but alive. She was clutching a torn notebook, refusing to let go. The girl was badly injured. Broken ribs, possible internal bleeding. Medics worked on her while she kept repeating something in Pashto. Our interpreter translated, "I want to finish my math homework. Please let me finish." That's when something cracked in Colonel Mitchell's armor. Her hands started shaking. She knelt beside the stretcher, took the ruined notebook, and smoothed out the pages with trembling fingers. The little girl looked up at this stern American woman in uniform and smiled. Reached out with her small hand and touched the colonel's face. Said something that made the interpreter's eyes fill with tears. She says the soldier lady has kind eyes like her teacher who died. Colonel Mitchell completely broke down. 23 years of military bearing shattered in that moment. She sat in the dirt, holding this injured child, crying like I'd never seen anyone cry. Great heaving sobs that shook her entire body. Took her 15 minutes to compose herself. When she finally stood up, she was different, softer somehow. Still professional, but human again. She personally escorted that little girl to the helicopter, held her hand during transport, visited her every day in the field hospital until she recovered. The girl's name was Fatima. She'd been the top student in her class, determined to become a doctor. The bombing left her partially paralyzed, but she never stopped studying. Colonel Mitchell started visiting the school once it was rebuilt, brought supplies, books, even arranged for female teachers from other villages. Used her own money to fund a scholarship program. After deployment, she stayed in contact with Fatima's family, helped them immigrate to the United States. Fatima's living in Colorado now, studying pre-med at the University of Denver. Colonel Mitchell retired 2 years later, works for a non-profit that builds schools in Afghanistan. Says meeting Fatima reminded her why she joined the military in the first place. I served under a lot of officers over 12 years. Most were competent, some were inspiring, a few were terrible. But Colonel Mitchell taught me something important about leadership. Being tough doesn't mean being heartless. Real strength comes from caring so much that you're willing to show vulnerability. That little girl's courage to keep learning after losing everything touched something deep in the colonel's soul. The Iron Lady nickname stuck, but it meant something different after that day. Not cold and unfeeling, but strong enough to break when breaking was what someone needed to see.